So this is how we access this area of the beach. It's mildly undignified, but good fun.
Not as cool a descent as the London Mudlarkers.
Oh well.
So that's us at the beach then. It's low tide. It's looking quite good. Let's see what we can find.
So whilst I was over there filming, Nicole's been having a wee look around. She found a couple of things.
Yeah, I found a couple of bits of really grubby pottery.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. They're all plain except for one piece, and I found a really big piece. I'm not sure which way it goes. It looks like some sort of, maybe an ink jar or something.
Yeah, I think the top of a jug or something maybe.
Yeah. And I found this bit. This is kind of nice.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll come and have a wee look at that.
So that's a piece of a plate, obviously. It looks like an old plate. I think maybe we take that and leave the other bits here.
Yeah, they are quite grubby, aren't they?
Yeah. They've obviously been sitting in a particular area.
Yeah. Okay, let's go see what we can find.
Yeah. I can see a bit of pottery in there. I'll get it out.
Okay, I'll see if I can wade towards you. You gotta watch that your wellies are tall enough to take the depth of the water, right?
Oh look.
Alright.
It's cute. I'll come over.
Yeah, oh, watch yourself. Don't want to fill your wellies.
It's cute.
It is, isn't it? What,
Yeah.
That's not willow pattern, do you think it is? Or?
It might be, yeah. I think I'll have to get a whole plate of the blue willow pattern so that we can match the pieces.
Yeah, see where it fits in the jigsaw.
Yeah, it's an Instagram thing, match your pieces.
We found a piece like this before, further up the beach. I don't know if you can see that. Just this piece right here.
Looks.
Now that's glass.
Yep.
It has ridges on it. It doesn't look like the top of a bottle to me.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a bottleneck, but a weird one with loads of lines.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, it's green glass. We'll try and take a photograph of that when we get back to the house so you can see it close up. But I've no idea what it is. I think it may have something to do with the power station.
Oh.
So there used to be a power station over here, and let me just show you. It was basically right there. So right behind where Nicole's sitting just now and right in front of me.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I mean that could, it could be an insulator or it could be something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think we'd have more luck. I noticed that somebody over on that other side there having a look around.
Yeah.
We don't know how to get there.
I want to be there.
We have slight shore envy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nicole's found something a wee bit macabre. Do you want to tell us why you think it's interesting?
Well, okay, I'll pick it up. And it's here. As you can see, it's a bone.
Okay.
Now, why do I think it's interesting? I think it's interesting because one of the imports into this port were bones. One of the exports was ground bone meal.
Yeah, bone meal or ground bone, yeah.
So I don't really know very much about bone, so I don't know what kind of bone it is. So I'm just going to leave that here.
Yeah. Well, we know why bone was exported when it was ground though, right? It was used in agriculture as a fertiliser.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. But yeah, we find quite a few bones here, so I'm guessing they just fell off the ships.
Fell off the ships or were dragged here by a hungry dog.
Possibly. There's a huge piece of pottery over here.
I'm not sure my wellies are deep or long enough to get all the way in here. There's actually whilst Nicole's pulling that out, oh okay, she's actually got it.
Yep.
Careful, no fill your wellies.
It's got an M on it. That must have been a big pot, looking back the diameter, so that would have been around, well, this size, so
it must quite modern though.
I don't
it's
know.
quite thin. I mean, the clay's quite thin.
I think it's Victorian, just kind of looking at it.
Could well be.
See if you can see the M, there's an embossed M on it. I don't know if that'll show up in the camera.
Drop us a comment if you can see it. I can't see it and I'm standing right in front of it.
It's a little, it's subtle, but
okay,
yeah.
but it's there.
Yeah, I'll put that back.
So what we got, do you think?
It's here, it's buried. I don't know, the hope is that it's a bottle, but I think it's maybe a bit from a bag.
I think you're right. I think I can see the hole now that I come round this side. Yeah. It's quite an old one though. That might be from the 70s.
Yeah, still got the reflectors on it, you could use that.
And I think you just spotted something. I saw your eyes darting over here.
Yeah.
And I think I can see what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what I think it is?
It's a piece of Jadite milk glass.
Okay, I wouldn't have called it Jadite, but milk glass, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cute.
I'll take it out. It's quite big.
It is, it's chunky, it's really thick as well, isn't it?
You see the ridges on it?
Yeah.
It's probably been a tile. I think is probably a Victorian dripping jar. Found a couple of other pieces just over there. This one looks really old. It almost looks like it's stone, but I think it definitely is pottery, but it feels really old. It has kind of divots in it, and there's, I don't know, can you see them?
Okay, yeah, so that does look, if it is pottery, it looks very old, but it certainly looks like pottery.
Yeah,
I mean, like stone.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really decorated. It looks like there's a faint line here on the top. I think I'll take that home and clean it and see if we can see other things. But it looks older than anything else, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these are probably Victorian. That one a dripping jar. That one ginger beer. This one looks like it might be flow pattern, or it's just blue. Who knows? Looks like it's a bit of a tile. It's white, glazed, and it has a bit of blue in it. So if you come over here, you probably see it's gleaming. It's just there.
Yeah, we see that.
Oops. Oh, it's grubby. I like it.
Oh yeah, that is a very cool piece. It's very, very thick.
Yeah.
I think you're right, that's definitely got to be a tile, I think.
Maybe it's a Delft tile from the Netherlands. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a tile, and it needs to get clean.
Certainly does. Yeah, that's
it's nice with the glaze.
You don't know the word in Scotland, it's a manky.
Yeah. So we know that this was the entrance to the harbour, and this is the River Leven, and over there is the Firth of Forth, and the boats would have come up the Firth of Forth, travelled down here into the harbour.
You end up wondering how old these old wooden posts are. They must have been here for a long, long time.
It looks really nice, doesn't it? It's really soft.
Yeah,
really
it's so warm.
Down. It's beautiful. You could have that as a coffee table thing.
Wow. Yeah, and there's some ironwork there as well, isn't there? Some it looks like an old mooring ring or something like that.
Yeah. There's some other bit of wood here. I know it looks like driftwood, but it's really stuck in, so we'll leave that here.
Okay, well, I'll see if we can get it out.
That's really nice.
So the last time we were here, we were walking by these stones, and they kind of prompted me to think about the harbour that used to be here. In fact, we now think, after having done a little bit of research, that these have nothing to do with the harbour at all. But we reckon that these may actually have had something to do with the fortifications that were put in around the coast of Scotland during the Second World War. That large blocks like this were placed along beaches, built up high, to stop tanks from coming ashore along rivers like this. So, if this had nothing to do with the harbour then, where can we find signs of the harbour? Right behind where Nicole's sitting just now, there's a large harbour wall along there that used to separate the river that we see here flowing into the sea from the harbour that was just behind us. So we'll go take a look at that just now. Prior to 1876, none of this infrastructure that was important to the harbour being here existed. This was just a natural sandy inlet. By around 1791, this was quite a busy area. Main trade, being much the same as in Dysart, was with the Low Countries. In 1833, the first quay was built here, but it wasn't until 1876 that the wall that you can see behind me that separated the river out from the harbour was built, and the harbour really began to take shape.
The earliest mention of a harbour here at Levenmouth is in 1435, when salted beef was being transported between royal households. At that time, the harbour was little more than a beach landing, with the advantage that it had riverbanks that allowed some boats to travel and shelter off the coast. Although trade through this harbour had increased over the years, the first infrastructure was not built until 1833, and that took the form of a small quay. Major development of the harbour did not happen until 1876. Then, a huge investment of around £40,000 was spent building the harbour wall, clearing and digging out a proper wet dock so that this harbour could begin serious operations. In today's money, the £40,000 investment amounts to around £4.5 million, and that's around $6 million US. The new infrastructure meant that the harbour filled more deeply than it ever had done, and that it was easier to access. These innovations allowed the harbour to accommodate 800-ton vessels, and this was a huge improvement on the 300-ton limit of the old harbour. Prior to the developments, Levenmouth Harbour had been difficult to access because of silting up. The improvements were intended to rid the harbour of this problem and open Leven up to its full potential. Sadly, despite the massive investment, it just did not work. The harbour continued to silt up and cause problems for vessels. Effectively, the harbour was only ever semi-functional because of these environmental conditions. In such circumstances, the harbour failed to return the investments that had been made on its improvements. In short, it was unprofitable. In 1883, the Weems estate stepped in and bought the harbour for a mere £15,000, and some sources say it was as little as £12,000. This represented a massive loss for Leven. Now, only 3 years after investing £40,000 in the endeavour, this dysfunctional harbour was sold for significantly less than half its price. A few years later, in 1887, Randolph Weems and his tenant colliers carried out expansion of the docks at the harbour in nearby Methil. This improved storage, and a rail line that had been built to transport coal and other commodities bypassing Leven directly to its docks at Methil signed the end of days for the docks there in Leven. This was indeed the death blow for Levenmouth Harbour. The Weems estate had bypassed the need for this problematic harbour by diverting export and import a few miles west to the docks at Methil.
Looks like it might be a bead.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's nice and blue.
Oh, let's see if it's whole. Oh, it's a half bead. It's not very nice and bright.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? It's always nice to find a bead.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little bit of bead.
Yeah.
A little bit of bead's better than no bead at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I found a wee bit of glass here. But a little bit shiny on that side, so we'll leave that. I thought I'd just seen a really bright red bead, and you probably laugh when you see what it actually is. Not a bead at all.
Look what I found.
Okay, let's have a look. What you got?
I found two handles, one fairy handle, one giant handle.
Okay.
That's very big. I found a giant piece of milk glass. It's,
oh wow.
Yeah, that's bound to be a tile as well. Found a really nice piece of blue, looks like a bottleneck, and a piece of what looks like Staffordshire. Oh, genuine dishwasher safe, so it's a little bit new.
Yeah.
But it's cute because it has a house on it.
Oh, that's grand, yeah. That's nice and clear.
Yeah. Today I'm going to make a pair of earrings with these two lovely pieces of Jadite green sea glass. It's the same kind as you saw us find in the video earlier. I've already made a necklace and I'm going to put both of these pieces in our Etsy shop, and whichever one gets purchased first gets this piece as a free gift. I've already pre-drilled these two pieces and I really love how you can see the layers on each one of them. Now, let's get to it and make that pair of earrings. I've opted for threader earrings or pull-through earrings, and now we need to fit the bails onto each of these pieces. All components are sterling silver. You'll notice my wee jump ring opener, really great tool. I hope you like the earrings and the necklace. I think they're both really gorgeous. That's us done at the beach then, and we just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who subscribed, liked and commented, and a special thanks to everybody who supported us on Kofi. Thank you so much from Nicole and Craig.
Massive thanks.
Thank you. Bye.